And by the way, Chapecoense play their first game since the plane crash tomorrow night, when they take on Joinville in a regional league match, the club's first since what happened. Here come the three players, the three survivors of the plane crash. In the wheelchair is Jackson Follman. In the white shirt is Neto, who hopes to play again in July. And left back Alan Rochelle is there too. And just listen to this. It is amazing that Neto, the tall man in the white shirt, says he wants to play again. He'll be back, he hopes, for the second half of the Brazilian season. It is a night to recognise, reflect, remember fallen teammates and staff, and also on the plane the club's backroom staff and front office staff, and also journalists and the media, guests as well, and of course aircrew from flight 2933. Two months ago, November the 28th, 2016. A team which has touched Brazil and touched the world in the last 2 months. Jackson Follman there was the team's reserve goalkeeper on that flight to the Copa Sudamericana final in Colombia. And by the way, the Colombia team tonight will feature 6 players from the team they would have faced, Atlético Nacional. A game of friendship, of solidarity, of reflection, remembrance. Lamia flight 2933 was carrying 77 people, among them, of course, from the team, 22 players, 21 journalists and 2 guests, and also the 23 members of the club staff as well. It was really a case of the entire club was on that plane. It was their biggest game they'd ever had, to the final of the Copa Sudamericana. And how moving that their opponents, Atlético Nacional, lobbied CONMEBOL, the federation, to award the trophy and the $2 million prize money to Chapecoense. It has been beyond harrowing and trying this last 2 months for the entire club and the fans and everyone to do with Chapecoense. A small club who've come a long way in such a short space of time in football terms. A name which will forever be remembered and respected for their dignity in dealing with what occurred that night in Colombia. And yes, smiles, but I'm sure in the minds, of course, memories about friends, colleagues, teammates, pals, buddies, no longer with them.
E agora, de forma a reconhecer toda a força, toda a resistência, toda a garra, nossos heróis receberão agora uma singela homenagem das delegações brasileira e colombiana, como forma de lembrança desse dia histórico para o futebol mundial.
All proceeds from this game tonight will go to the families of those who lost their lives in November. Chapecoense, a small club, but a club who now have their name known across the globe for their dignity and for their resolve, and a nation, a world in sympathy with them. As I say, they have their first game just tomorrow night. They have a squad now of 30 players, all new players of course, new coaching staff, a club who have had to start again. But I'm sure they will be every single Brazilian fan's second team when they play their first game against Joinville tomorrow night. When approached about this game, the Colombian Federation had no hesitation in accepting the invitation to come and play against Brazil tonight. It is a game which both coaches will use, of course, to look at players for upcoming World Cup qualifiers, but I think Teach, the Brazil coach, said he doesn't care about the result tonight. It's about people, he says, not about who wins a football match. And that is a very fitting attitude to have tonight.
Vamos receber as bandeiras nacionais de Brasil e Colômbia.
Here come the two national flags before this international friendly, Brazil and Colombia. Of course, a rematch of the World Cup and Olympic Games quarter-finals in the last few years. Both matches won by Brazil. It is a game for which the two teams haven't been able to call on their European-based players, but it is a chance for players based in their own domestic leagues to stake a claim for their place in the full international team. This does count too as a full game, so caps are awarded. And we'll see tonight's Robinho win cap number 100 and become just the fifth man to do so for Brazil. Two flags side by side. You understand the shirts of a whole host of clubs. You saw there the blue and the white of Grêmio. Here's the Brazil jerseys for tonight's players. There are 14 uncapped players in Brazil's group of 23 for this game. But the famous Canary Yellow will take on the Colombians here. They'll be in their change colours for this one tonight, of course. They too have yellow as their preferred first choice. They're in their navy blue tonight. Their squad includes 5 from the Olympic Games in the summer. And the number 10, the captain Teofilo Gutierrez, who was their Olympic captain too, and they lost to Brazil in the quarter-finals of that competition. And these are the players that will be on the bench for Brazil tonight. Well, the coach Teach, who's not lost a game, he's won all of his games so far since replacing Dunga after the summer's Copa America Centenario debacle in the United States. Teach's record so far is played 6 and won 6. And they've let in just 1 goal too in those games, with an average of over 2 goals a game. Colombia will take on Teach in Brazil tonight. These are the Brazil players arriving in the stadium earlier on tonight. All of Brazil's players are based in the Brazilian Championship. And Robinho turns today 33 years old, his birthday, and it's his first cap for over a year. As I say, reaches that landmark of 100, the fifth to do so for Brazil. Meanwhile, Colombia's players arriving earlier on today. Their team is, again, all South American based, one or two from Brazil, one from Argentina as well. As this game falls outside the official FIFA window, they can't call on players based overseas, but nonetheless, both teams, both squads have players with lots of experience at this level before now. Well, the impressive Olympic Stadium, the so-called Engenhão, the home of Botafogo here in Rio, which is a true picture postcard city. Now nearing 10 p.m. local time, the kickoff time for tonight's international friendly. A night where the football world reflects and remembers the victims of the Chapecoense air crash in November. And around here, the blue track on which so many great things were done in the Olympic Games in August of last year. These days, the home of Botafogo. As I say, Brazil under Teach have played 6 and won 6 so far. The coach has had a wonderful start to life after replacing the unpopular Dunga, who was fired after the team didn't get beyond the initial phase of last summer's Copa America Centenario in the United States of America. Both nations resume their World Cup qualifiers in March. Brazil have games in Uruguay and at home to Paraguay in the next window, and Colombia's next 2 games home to Bolivia, away to Ecuador.
Todo mundo cantando. Olha o telão, galera.
And here come the 2 teams. Brazil led by Robinho tonight. As Brazil and Colombia side by side in solidarity for the memories of those who lost their lives in the Chapecoense air crash in November of last year. 2 months ago, 2 nations together side by side, pay tribute, reflect, remember on those sad, tragic events in Colombia nearly 2 months ago. The mascots in Chapecoense shirts. And here they greet the teams, the survivors. Defender Neto and the reserve goalkeeper for the club, Jackson Folman. Warm embraces with the 3 survivors. Also there is Alain Rouchal. Well, the plane crash which the whole world took to heart. Football stopped across the world and in leagues and cups across the globe. Minutes silences, minutes applause, reflection, remembering those who lost their lives. All the action, the two teams will stand to take in the respective anthems of the two nations involved here, Colombia and Brazil.
Uma pequena lembrança em agradecimento ao povo colombiano por todo o carinho e solidariedade demonstrados nos dias que sucederam o acidente.
Robinho, the Brazil skipper tonight, his first cap for well over a year. Been on 99 since the Copa America of 2015. Today he joins that select band of 5 men now to reach a century of caps for Brazil. The others for the record, by the way: Taparel, Cafu, Lucio and Roberto Carlos. Not a bad five-a-side team, is it? Colombia skipper tonight by Abel Aguilar of Deportivo Cali, as he reaches the 60 cap milestone tonight for Colombia. Many of these Colombians would have been facing Chapecoense in the final of the Copa Sudamericana in late November.
O jogo da amizade, Brasil e Colômbia, dia marcante, histórico do futebol mundial. Todos de pé. A execução do hino nacional da Colômbia.
Now a very emotional rendition, I'm sure, of the Brazilian national anthem.
O hino nacional do Brasil.
emotional as Brazil and Colombia reflect and remember those who lost their lives in November's plane crash, which claimed so many of the Chapecoense football team and their staff. But now a game between Brazil and Colombia. A chance for two teams to look at one or two players on the fringe of their national sides ahead of the March resumption of World Cup qualification. Brazil's team led by Robinho as he turns 33. He wins tonight, cap 100, and joins a five-man club to reach 100 senior caps for the Selección. Four uncapped. Goalkeeper Weverton won Olympic gold in August, as too did Rodrigo Caio and Wallace. As for Colombia, they are captained by Teofilo Gutierrez. Six of their team play for Atlético Nacional of Medellín, the team who would have faced Chapecoense in the Copa Sudamericana final. Two debuts, William Tecillo and Matias Uribe win their very first senior caps for the national team tonight. Referee in charge is Jorge Balino for this one, for this game in the Olympic Stadium, the Engenhão Stadium in Rio, home of Botafogo. Well, Jackson Follman getting a warm embrace from the Brazilian bench players for tonight's game. Only 3 players survived the crash of the 22 who were on board. And before the game there will be a minute's reflection too for the 71 who lost their lives in that plane crash. Well, applause, not silence. That's the Brazilian way. The release of 71 balloons into the Rio night sky. And Chapecoense play their first match since the crash tomorrow night. And yes, the game moves on, football moves on, but what happened will never, ever be forgotten and will always be remembered, and those who lost their lives respected. In the stands, many shirts of many clubs, the green there of Chapecoense, but also I've seen shirts tonight of Botafogo and Flamengo, two big clubs here from Rio, also Grêmio as well of Porto Alegre. Robinho with the Brazil armband, Abel Aguilar for Colombia, There'll be a change of ends before this game will get underway. This is Brazil's 7th game since the Copa America in the summer under Tite now, the coach. And Tite so far has been word perfect. 6 games, 6 wins in the World Cup qualifiers. Brazil top of the pile in the race for a place in Russia next year. Colombia off the pace, 6th at the moment. And they have 2 big qualifiers coming up for them in March. And it's Colombia who get this game underway then. Both nations with players drawn from South America. This being outside the FIFA window, it's a game they can't call on their overseas-based players for. All of Brazil's squad are based here in their own domestic league. This is Farid Diaz for Colombia, who has become their first choice left-back in the last 12 months or so. Across here to Felipe Aguilar. Aguilar's pass here to Daniel Bocanegra. Into the feet of Teofilo Gutierrez. Away they will come, Brazil, in those famous canary yellow shirts. 15 here is Willian Arao, one of the 4 winning their first caps tonight. Now Wallace. On to Fagner. This is Fagner's first cap too, the number 2, the right back from Corinthians of Sao Paulo. The new man here is Pedro de Jermel at the age of 31. Rodrigo Caio for Wallace. Now Fabio Santos, his first cap for over 4 years. Pedro de Jermel. Fagner. Long ball here, which is just dealt with by Felipe Aguilar. One of the players who would have faced Chapecoense with Atlético Nacional in the final of that Copa Sudamericana at the end of last year. Abel Aguilar. And here now to Jonathan Copete. Farid Diaz. Abel Aguilar's through ball. Long towards Miguel Borja. Fagner. There's Farid Diaz again for Colombia. Well, 14, Jonathan Copete plays in Brazil with Santos. Neymar and, of course, Pele's old club. Given away here by Brazil and by Diego Souza. 6 there is William Tecillo. Now Felipe Aguilar. First touch here for David Gonzalez in goal. Tonight is his first cap for 12 years. Debut and only cap came in January of 2005 against South Korea. Match travel goalkeeper David Gonzalez spells in Turkey, Argentina, England, Scotland, and a former goalkeeper with the likes of Manchester City and Aberdeen in Scotland. And playing for Independiente Medellin. Brazil's goalkeeper is their Olympic gold medal goalkeeper, Weverton. Rodrigo Caio. Mate here is the much fancied Wallace. Made his debut in the Copa America in the summer when he came on against Haiti in Orlando in the group stage. It was a 7-1 win. Not a bad game to make your debut in for Brazil. Here is Wallace. Has been linked with a move to Lazio in the last few weeks too, the midfielder from Grêmio. The whistles and jeers are for the ex-Botafogo player Willian Arao. Plays now with Flamengo, their city rivals. And a very acrimonious move too from this club to join Flamengo. That's Teofilo Gutierrez. Now Farid Diaz. to Jonathan Copete. Here is Matias Uribe winning his first cap for Colombia tonight. Now Gutierrez wide to Bocanegra. Cross headed clear by Fagner. Diaz, handball the shout. Handball seen against Copete. Copete scored 10 goals in 25 games in his first Brazilian season with Santos last campaign. Those goals in the Brasileira, the Brazilian Serie A competition, the main national league. There is Fabio Santos. Robinho. Fagner. A fairly cagey first 5 minutes so far. This is, again, as the whistles and jeers will tell you, Willian Arau. Now Lucas Lima. Lucas Lima for Fagner. Flag up against Fagner. Close call, but I think the right call there by the referee's near side assistant down below. And the free kick is William Tecillo. There is Tite, the Brazil coach. He replaced Dunga after the humiliation of that Copa America group stage exit in the USA. He was there when they were beaten by Peru to knock them out. Abel Aguilar, a run made here by Bocanegra. Uribe. This is Magnelli Torres. Out to Bocanegra. Robinho's Brazilian break. Robinho for Lucas Lima. Robinho again. Lucas Lima goes again for Brazil here. And the ball in towards Diego Souza. Given away. And now the break is on. And the ball through for Miguel Borja. And here's Miguel Borja with a shot! Close for Colombia. Applause from Jose Pecaman, the Colombian coach, and the game's first real chance, a Colombian chance. And Miguel Borja here took aim. Only his second cap. And nearly his first goal for Colombia. Shot taken early. And flashes just wide of Weberton's goal. Corner here for Colombia. Corner taken by Magnelli Torres. Robinho breaks. Pass though will ask too much of Lucas Lima. Well, Tite said before the game that this was a chance to look at players he felt had futures for Brazil in the, if you like, the full national team. There is Abel Aguilar for Daniel Bocanegra. Infield to Matias Uribe. And there's Willian Arau. 14 here is Copete for Magnelli Torres. Torres on now to Fari Diaz. Early cross, Weber Pedro Jeromel. And now Brazil can break through Dudu. Fagner. Pedro Jeromel. Wallace. To Robinho here. And Hedy's got support from Fabio Santos. Poked away by Felipe Aguilar for Colombia. And goes Wallace. Wallace. Diego Souza shot from range from Dudu is charged down. Here's Wallace again. And Dudu's touch on. First real attack of Brazilian menace. And Dudu, who plays with the champions Palmeiras here in Brazil. Scored 6 goals as they won the Brazilian title last season. This is Dudu's first cap since late 2011 under Mano Menezes. Copete. Torres. A foul there on the Miguel Borja. A set piece here for Colombia. Foul by Rodrigo Cayo. A chance here for a Colombian strike on Weverton's goal. Weverton was the Olympic Games' first choice goalkeeper. And this free kick, both Miguel Borja and also there is Daniel Bocanegra as well. Who takes aim here? It is Bocanegra into the defensive wall for Brazil. Comes back out here to Uribe. McNally Torres. He's a very clever playmaker, McNally Torres. Lucas Lima now for Diego Souza. With him, Dudu has made the run here, and Dudu's away. And Dudu has been well challenged there by the defender, who gets back in the nick of time to ensure the danger was fairly short-lived. Diego Souza's ball to release Dudu. But the game, you feel, is beginning to open up here now. Of course, emotion around, given why we're here, to remember those who lost their lives in the plane crash. But the game is beginning to really open up in this first half. Here's Uribe. Farid Diaz. Here's Wallace. Willian Arau. Lucas Lima for Brazil. Lucas Lima plays for Santos. Has been linked there with a move to Liverpool, maybe potentially. Another who was in the Copa America squad in the summer, scored in that win over Haiti in Orlando. Also scored a World Cup qualifying goal away to Argentina in a 1-1 draw in November of 2015. There is Lucas Lima, on to Fabio Santos. Towards Willian Arau. And Farid Diaz back to goalkeeper Gonzalez. It stays in play just for the goalkeeper's benefit. Yeah, it's been a while for the goalkeeper. His last cap, only cap, is 12 years ago this month. Of course, David Ospina is very much the Colombia first choice goalkeeper when the full squad is available. Uribe, now McNally Torres. Uribe. Little touch there from Miguel Borja. Colombia neat and tidy so far in this contest. Is Bocanegra. Abel Aguilar. Pass though is rather loose and picked off here for Brazil by Dudu for Lucas Lima. The play will be called back here by the referee. Saw an earlier infringement and an injury, I think, here as well to Abel Aguilar, the Colombian captain. Aguilar's football CV is one which is much decorated. Spells in Spain and France, Italy and Portugal. Returned to Colombia from Belenenses in Portugal in 2016. Winning tonight his 60th full cap. Just caught late there, wasn't he? And it's going to be a break while he gets the attention he requires. Rodrigo Cayo. Fagner. Pedro Jeromel. Fabio Santos. Lucas Lima away from one challenge. And Lucas Lima goes on here, finds Robinho too. And the cross will come for Dudu. And really a row over the crossbar, so close to the opening goal there for Brazil. And that may have, I think, had the booze silence for the former Botafogo player. Good chance here for Brazil, and Willian Arau couldn't control the shot as he may have done. Helped Botafogo to win promotion back in 2015 before the, let's say, acrimonious decision to join their city rivals Flamengo. Cleared by goalkeeper David Gonzalez. Up goes Borja. Borja's touch. That's Fabio Santos. In goes Abel Aguilar for Colombia. Long ball towards Diego Souza. Here's Dudu. Robinho. Nelly Torres. Now Colombia can build with promise. As Torres pushed over, free kick to Colombia. Brazil have had the upper hand in recent meetings. World Cup qualifier in the current cycle was played in Manaus up in the Amazon. That was a 2-1 Brazil win with a late-ish Neymar winner. Of course, the last World Cup, Brazil in the quarter-finals put paid to Colombia. Olympic Games too at the same stage. Another Brazil win en route to gold in the summer just gone. Nelly Torres. This is Miguel Borja. Uribe for Farid Diaz for Colombia. Maybe Pedro Jaramal. Brazil free kick. Well, a fairly decent contest so far. Often friendlies can be rather timid and tame affairs. This has begun at a good tempo so far in these first, over 60 minutes gone. Fabio Santos. Robinho. Lucas Lima. Robinho. Given a large cake by his teammates today. Robinho to mark his 33rd birthday. Brazil debut over 13 years ago now. July of 2003 when Robinho first wore the national shirt of Brazil. And joins that band of 5 now to reach 100 caps in the Canary Yellow. Farid Diaz. Abel Aguilar. Nelly Torres. Looks for and finds here support. Here is Miguel Borja. No foul play goes on here. Willian Arau. Ball too long though for Diego Souza. There is the Argentine coach of Colombia, Jose Pekerman, as they're now taken Colombian nationality. Tecillo. There is Gutierrez in the number 10 shirt, normally worn of course by James Rodriguez. Nelly Torres here for Farid Diaz. On the chase is Copete. It's a goal kick. Fabio Santos. Down the line here for Robinho. He'll take on Felipe Aguilar. That's Robinho's last cap at the Copa America in Chile back in 2015 against Paraguay. Scored his last goal in that game as well for Brazil. He was on that 99 cap mark for well over a year and a half. high boot there by Wallace. It's Copete for Colombia. Uribe. McNally Torres. Aguilar for Farid Diaz. Tecillo. Uribe. This is Felipe Aguilar out to the other Aguilar Abel, the captain. Torres. Lucas Lima applies the pressure here for Brazil. The ball though towards Copete, picked off well by Fagner. Now Dudu. Wallace. Again the boos for the former Botafogo player Willian Arau. A ball from McNally Torres here. What a ball too! There's Gutierrez. It wouldn't quite run there either for Borja, but what a pass from Torres to pick out the initial run there from Teofilo Gutierrez. And Brazil stand firm. This pass, you see the tackle which came after it, but the initial through ball from McNally Torres was delicious. You see that ball which splits the defence wide open, and Teofilo Gutierrez well stopped by Rodrigo Caio. Fagner. Wallace. Wallace has been compared to Paul Pogba in recent months. I think he's a touch more defensive than Pogba ever has been. It's a shame, given why we're here, that there are those fans who are choosing to boo Willian Arau. Fabio Santos. Approaching the halfway point of the first half in Rio. This is Lucas Lima for Brazil. Out to Fabio Santos. Support two here from Robinho. And Lucas Lima. Wallace. And Boca Negra here for Colombia. Met though by Willian Arau for Wallace. Fagner. Be a free kick for the much booed Willian Arau. But a good array of club colours in the stands here. The black and white stripes of the home club Botafogo, of course. There's the red and black hoops of Flamengo. The blue of Gremio in there as well. And of course the green of Chapecoense. Here's Wallace. Lucas Lima. Fabio Santos. Wallace's pass in here to the orbit of Fagner. Lucas Lima. Fabio Santos. On the stretch there is defender Daniel Bocanegra for Colombia. This is Bocanegra's first cap since March of 2015, the number 4. Gutierrez in here to McNally Torres, had only really Borja. This is Jonathan Copete. Good work there from Rodrigo Caio. Here for McNally Torres. McNally Torres, one of those players who would have faced Chapecoense in the final of the Copa Sudamericana. Just caught here by Rodrigo Cayo, wasn't he? Torres winning tonight his 47th full cap. Debut a decade ago now at the Copa America in Venezuela back in 2007. Teach replacing Dunga, who was by far from being a popular coach. Teach's start, those 6 wins and top of World Cup qualifying. He's certainly a choice who is really game by game becoming more and more loved by the Brazilian public. Of course, the nation had rather fallen out of love with its national team after the World Cup debacle. Lost to the Germans 7-1 in the semi-final back in 2014, but game by game under Teach, they're beginning to get the old love back for the yellow shirts. This is William Arau within Fagner. Good work from Tessio here for Colombia, the defender's first cap tonight. Play all 4 games in the Olympics, not least the quarter-final defeat to the Brazilians in Sao Paulo. Well, goalless. This game between the national teams of Brazil and Colombia to raise funds for the families of those who lost their lives in the Chapecoense plane crash last November. This is Dudu for Brazil. Look at the space here for Lucas Lima to work in as well. Lucas Lima plots and schemes, finds Wallace. Lucas Lima. And Dudu here for Lucas Lima for Brazil! And David Gonzalez makes a pretty useful save at the near post. And had to as well. And Lucas Lima, this clever ball in from Dudu, the little lofted sand wedge almost. And Lucas Lima's shot. Yes, Gonzalez at the near post, who wasn't beaten by it. Good strong save this. Brazil corner taken here by Dudu. In by Dudu. That goes Rodrigo Cayo, and that's easily taken this time by David Gonzalez. Second spell with Independiente Medellin. Jonathan Copete. And the playmaker, the clever, the wily McNally Torres. Here come Brazil in full flow. Dudu, with him he's got Lucas Lima, ignores him for now. In here to Robinho, was he pushed over? No, referee says play can go on here, no foul given against Boca Negra. Fairly bruising first half so far. Boca Negra. Now here come Colombia through McNally Torres, who can pick out a pass. Does so here to Teofilo Gutierrez. Ahead Miguel Borja. Uribe. Oh, good football here from Colombia, but well stopped by the abrasive and steady Rodrigo Cayo. Willian Arau. Wallace. Robinho still has the flicks, the tricks, the step-overs. Lucas Lima now in business for Brazil. Sees a route through, but can't take it because he's been brought down here. It's a Brazilian set piece as we approach the half-hour mark in the first half. in Rio, the Olympic Stadium. Here's Robinho. Fabio Santos. In the middle there with Lucas Lima, and the break is on here for Colombia, led by Uribe. Gutierrez now for Miguel Borja. Led up by Pedro Jeromel. Abel Aguilar. Torres. Uribe. Here come Colombia with Gutierrez. Look at the run made here by Bocanegra. Played by Pedro Jeromel for Brazil, now up to find Diego Souza, who's been quiet so far, the number 9. Lucas Lima. Space to work in here for Robinho, maybe. Can he produce? Frans Wallissen. Fagner, and Fagner's cross, header clear, is beyond Willian Arrau. This is Abel Aguilar, holds off Fagner's attention. Fali Diaz for Colombia into the feet of McNelly Torres. Here's Uribe and Torres. Gutierrez lost out. No foul, play goes on. Lucas Lima, here's Willian Arrau. Foul given here against Matheus Uribe. Brazil 0, Colombia 0. World Cup qualifiers for both nations back on in March. Brazil with a double-header, they will be away to Uruguay for a home match with Paraguay. Brazil are the current top team in the 10-team qualifying group for Russia 2018. While Colombia are playing catch-up. They're only 6th, they're 1 point off the playoff place, 5th. And 2 points off the automatic spots. They have a home game with Bolivia next in Barranquilla, then they go away to Quito to face Ecuador in March. 2 big games that for Colombia. By Lucas Lima. Oh, and the header, Rodrigo Caio up there. Maybe a flag anyway, but half a chance here for Brazil. Rodrigo Caio's second cap, he was offside. Indeed, the flag did come and the goal wouldn't have stood. Rodrigo Caio's cap before tonight came in a pre-Copa America game against Panama. Did go to the Summers Copa. Unused as the yellow card is produced here for Colombia's skipper tonight, Abel Aguilar. The last free kick produced half a chance for the offside Rodrigo Caio. Will they have learned the lesson here? Lucas Lima's free kick here for Brazil sent in. Back in there by Robinho towards Pedro Jeromel. And a foul here by the debut-making defender. Yellow card too for Pedro Jeromel as well, which is maybe a tad harsh. Challenge here, well, the studs were high actually on the thigh of Felipe Aguilar. So Pedro Jeromel has his name taken. That's why Aguilar was booked. So 1 yellow card apiece in this first half. Tecillo. In the last 12 minutes of the first half in Rio. This now is Bocanegra for Colombia. Yellow card confirmed for Abel Aguilar. McNelly Torres, now Daniel Bocanegra. Checks back here, finds McNally. Torres, Gutierrez. Torres tries again here to unlock the defence. Uribe's header hits the post, and Waverton hangs on. Matias Uribe here, close to a debut goal for Colombia. And by Torres here, a super delivery, and that's a good header too, which comes off the face of the post with goalkeeper Waverton stood watching it. Colombia come close, very close, to a goal from Matias Uribe. Pedro Jeromel for Rodrigo Caio. 6 here is Fabio Santos. Pedro Jeromel. 2 here, Fagner. A card earlier in the half of Pedro Jeromel is just underlined for you. Wallace. Fagner. A touch back here to find Fagner. Away from Copete, and Fagner clattered and brought down. It's going to be a free kick here for Brazil, surely. As Fagner saw his route through blocked off. Jeromel. Robinho has been quiet so far by his usual standards in the Brazil shirt. Diego Souza. The run made here by Dudu. Header clear will come out to Brazil. There is Robinho on the turn, got the shot away, but off target from Robinho. Last goal came in that last cap against Paraguay at the Copa in Chile a year and a half ago. This is 28th for Brazil. But a well-contested first half so far in this friendly international, which has been played, don't forget, all proceeds going to the families of those who lost their lives in the Chapecoense plane crash in November. Very, of course, worthwhile cause. That's why we're here, full stop. This is why this game's been played now in this non-FIFA international window. Robinho here saw a way through, but good defensive work there from the massed ranks of Colombians to make sure there's never really a clear strike on there for Robinho. Robinho, who is playing now for Atletico Mineiro up in Belo Horizonte. By the way, both teams can make up to 6 substitutions. Any more in the game would cease to be classed as a full international. Okay, for Fari Diaz, as I say, he's become the first choice left back since his debut in March. He's now 33. Whole career spent playing in the Colombian domestic competition. No goals. Brazil 0, Colombia 0. There is Wallace. Fabio Santos. Jeromel. Fabio Santos. Lucas Lima has had Brazil's best chance so far. Fagner. Now Colombia can break with Copete, can't quite find Miguel Borja. last, 5 minutes of the first half or so. Here comes Robinho looking to get away from the so far impressive Boca Negra. Uribe. Uribe has had Colombia's best chance at the post with a header from the McNally Torres cross. Copete. Abel Aguilar, just beyond the reach of Torres. Now Brazil build with Wallace. Wallace looks for Dudu's run. It's headed clear here to Copete's possession for Colombia. We are now inside the game's last 5 of the first half. McNally Torres, Uribe, Abel Aguilar, McNally Torres, play goes on here, Borja, out to Copete, Copete's cross, now McNally Torres takes aim, and scuffs his shot. I'd say Colombia have made the more numerous first half chances, the better first half chances really. It's been a slick display so far from this Colombian team. Of the 11, don't forget, 6 would have been involved against Chapecoense in the Sudamericana final for Atlético Nacional. Here is Lucas Lima. Now it's Fabio Santos. Diego Souza. Fagner. Lucas Lima. Willian Arau. Still 1 or 2 fans are booing him. Fabio Santos. Wallace. Diego Souza. Willian Arau will take on the shot too, which is well wide of the mark. Won't do him any further to the Botafogo fans here. As I say, his move to join Flamengo was highly controversial in Brazil. Went to the courts actually. Been on loan here at Botafogo when they won promotion from the second tier in 2015. He then chose to switch and join Flamengo in Rio. And here the fans don't forget. Handball against Teofilo Gutierrez. Jeromel back in Brazil after a long European career, and back in 2014 after his last spell with Köln in Germany. The best chances so far, that Lucas Lima shot, which was saved well by Gonzalez, and Uribe's header against Brazil's post. This is Teofilo Gutierrez. Gutierrez. Copete. Play goes on, no handball, which was the Brazilian appeal. Gutierrez. Jonathan Copete. Made by Pedro Jeromel. Again, Colombia come again here with Farid Diaz. Move the ball well, this Colombian team. It's out to Teofilo Gutierrez again. Here now is McNally Torres. Gutierrez well blocked by Wallace, but offside the call anyway here against Teofilo Gutierrez. Clearly way beyond that line of yellow. And so good work from Wallace. Well, 5 years in the job now for Jose Pekerman. Oversaw Colombia's best ever World Cup in 2014, that quarter-final where they lost to Brazil. Began the qualifiers for this World Cup, by the way, as the top-ranked team in the region too, as the qualifiers began just over a year ago. And there they are, as I say, in 6th place in the qualifying cycle, and some 9 points behind the leaders Brazil. 1 point off the playoff spot, which is for now held by Argentina, and 2 off Chile in the last automatic spot. Fagner. There'll be 2 minutes to add on. We are now in the first of those 2 added minutes in this first half. Fagner. Teach can make up to 6 changes. Aim a squad of 23 for this friendly match, all based in Brazil. Pedro Jeromel, Wallace, leggy and powerful, out here to find Fabio Santos. One though by Miguel Borja. Working hard there, the striker, to get back and help out his right back. Diego Souza. Rubinho has a problem on his haunches. Play goes on for now. It's with Fabio Santos for Brazil here. With him, he's got Dudu as backup. Dudu accelerates. With him here, Lucas Lima supporting him. Rubinho's gone down meanwhile. Dudu's crossfield pass for Fagner. Here's Lucas Lima. Well stopped though by Colombia, who've defended well in this first half. Rubinho still down. And requires here some late first half attention. There's the back, which is being held on to there. Don't forget, it was Colombia in the World Cup, which did for Neymar's back in that quarter-final, didn't they? The challenge, I think, then by Juan Camilo Zuniga on Neymar in that World Cup game in 2014. And here Rubinho needs back attention as well. Rubinho, the captain tonight, is going to have to be held to the field for half-time, I think. The first half, which has not had too much in terms of chances. Brazil's best, a Lucas Lima drive, which was well turned over by goalkeeper David Gonzalez for Colombia, while Colombia's best moment, a header off the post from Matias Uribe, which was for both teams the closest we've come to a goal in this first half. In this game, for the families of those who were killed in the Chapecoense plane crash, we've had no goal so far as the players depart the field for further, in Rubinho's case, assessment. Half-time 0-0.
Acho que foi primeiro tempo bom, tivemos domínio do jogo, tocamos bastante, só falta criar pouco mais, ter pouco mais de profundidade para a gente conseguir fazer o gol. Sim, está sendo jogo muito estudado, o time da Colômbia tá marcando forte, a gente não está encontrando os espaços. Segundo tempo, ver o que o professor tem a falar, para a gente corrigir, criar pouco mais e conseguir fazer o gol.
Agora o jogador Dudu. Dudu, sua estreia com a seleção principal, né? Sua estreia de fato aqui num jogo importante, com outro significado, né?
Acho que sim, né? Importante ajudar quem precisa. Acho que a torcida compareceu, tá de parabéns. Nosso time fez um bom primeiro tempo, faltou só o gol.
Gostando de jogar com a camisa da seleção?
É bom, né? Especial. Orgulho muito grande de estar defendendo nosso país, dentro do nosso país. Muito feliz por isso.
Welcome back from Dan O'Hagan to the Engenhão, the Olympic Stadium here in Rio. Half-time in this game of peace between Brazil and Colombia in memory of the people who lost their lives in the Chapecoense air crash in November. It is goalless between Brazil and Colombia. A game of a few real clear chances, you'd say, so far. The best for Colombia, a header from Uribe off the post, and for Brazil, Lucas Lima had a shot turned over well by David Gonzalez in the Colombian goal. Both coaches can make up to 6 changes in this second half. Everton with the gold gloves for the Olympic success in Rio. And here Diego coming on for Brazil. Diego now 31. This is his first cap for over 8 years. And from the Juventus midfielder. Also coming on here for Brazil wearing number 16 is Jorge. His debut, the player from Flamengo here in Rio. But Diego has the armband on his return to the Brazil senior team. It is his 34th cap. Last one, September of 2008. As Diego these days playing his football in Brazil with Flamengo. Goalless, but a chance for those fringe players, don't forget, this game to really make their mark and impress both Teach and Jose Peckerman. They are worthy of places in World Cup qualifiers to come. Well, scoreless so far as Brazil get the second half in motion. There is Diego's first touch in a Brazil shirt since September of 2008. Pedro Jeromel here for Rodrigo Caio. Jorge, first touch in a Brazil shirt, full stop for him. Jeromel. Fagner. Diego. To the feet of Dudu, now wirelessly. Diego Caio. Brazil too have brought on number 18, Rodriguinho, who plays for Corinthians in Sao Paulo. It's his debut too. There is Fagner for Brazil for wirelessly. Dudu. To find Jorge. Steps in field to find Dudu. Brazil retain the ball here. Fagner. Rodriguinho. Diego Souza. Rodriguinho for Fagner. Fagner's ball in! Oh, and it's in from Dudu for Brazil. Well, Dudu heads home inside 2 second half minutes after Diego Souza's shot came back off goalkeeper David Gonzalez, and Teach shows no emotion, or night of emotion. It is Brazil who score first in this game with Colombia. Made by Fagner. Diego Souza, his shot well saved, but Dudu was alert and was there when the ball came back off the goalkeeper to finish. And Dudu has his first goal in his 3rd cap for Brazil, and they have the first goal tonight. Negra. And we report on number 17, Orlando Berrio, by the way, the striker from Atlético Nacional. It's a foul against Borja. Rodriguinho. Pedro Jeromel. Wallace. Fagner, Lucas Lima takes and turns and looks to get the ball through again towards Dudu. Here is Diego Souza. Uribe's had a very good debut so far, the man on the ball now for Colombia. He finds Berrio. This is Berrio's fourth cap. He made his debut in the autumn in the World Cup qualifiers. Wallace. George. Diego. Fagner. Rodriguinho. Rather sold Lucas Lima short. Away now will come the Brazil-based Jonathan Copete for Colombia. In field to another half-time change. Montoya. Yellow card coming as well here for the Brazilian. Lucas Lima caution here for the foul on the newcomer Santiago Montoro of Deportes Tolima. Colombia free kick. Position of some potential here for Colombia. And the ball is Santiago Montoya. In by Montoya. Goes Abel Aguilar, but away will come Brazil through Jorge. And that goal changed the game's dynamic. Will it make Colombia come out more, show more adventure and more attacking intent? Good header won there by Rodrigo Caio. Had a good game at centre-back for his second cap. And by Bocanegra. Berrio wins the throw for Colombia again. Dudu's got the difference. Today is Dudu's first cap since late 2011 under Mano Menezes. Away by Jorge. There's Montoya away by Diego for Brazil. Here's Lucas Lima, and that's a foul on Lucas Lima. As Dudu, his two prior caps came in the autumn of 2011 against Egypt and Gabon. For 5 years he's had to wait for his third cap. His first goal will come tonight. Colombia free kick, which is in a piece of shooting real estate here for the Colombians. Of course, no James in this South American-based squad. Montoya and Bocanegra on this free kick for Colombia. It's Bocanegra, and it's a good save by Weberton. Of course, his goal with those golden Olympic Games winning gloves to make the save. Good free kick and a save to match here from Weberton. And Torres corner here for Colombia. In by Montoya. Deep one as well, and the header will just drop over the crossbar this time. It was watched all the way by Weberton. On target, and good stop here, moves the feet well and then make sure the ball is propelled over the crossbar. Keep from Atletico Paranaense in Curitiba. Wallace. Now it's Diego. Very clever player still, Diego. He's only 31 now, he's had a long career. He's known for his spells with Werder Bremen and with Juventus. Rodriguinho out here now to find the goal scorer, Dudu. Infield for Diego. Ball breaks back Borja's way, but it's won back by Brazil quickly. Fagner to Lucas Lima. Wallace. Jorge. Rodriguinho. Back heel was clever, but it's given away. Now Berrio breaks with pace and purpose and menace here for Colombia. Man over far side, if they can reach him, it was towards that man over who was Copete. Diego replacing Robinho on the field and with the armband as well. Fagner here for Wallace. Second half is 8.5 minutes old. Brazil 1, Colombia 0 goal in the second half's second minute from Dudu, the difference. Pedro Jeromel. 31 and late coming to the national team for his debut, Jeromel. Moment with Gremio in Porto Alegre. Here is Flamengo's Diego. Rodriguinho back on for Diego again. Here supports ahead of him from Lucas Lima. Dudu spins away near side. Here is Dudu. Dudu's cross. Uribe for Colombia. Montoya. There is Jorge. Rodriguinho, another of the half-time changes. On to Lucas Lima. Rodriguinho. Wallace, good Brazil possession. Not quite the Brazilian swagger yet, but nonetheless they are able to retain the ball, dictate the pace of this second half at the moment. This is Rodriguinho. And the near side here again is Dudu. Takes on Bocanegra. Diego Souza. Lofted pass into the orbit of Fagner. From Bocanegra, corner Brazil. Jorge at 20. And for Fabio Santos, it's the young fullback from Flamengo's first cap at full level. Has been capped before at youth fixed age level. Scored twice in Flamengo's run to third place in the league last season. Dudu's corner. And David Gonzalez with a simple catch. Against the goalkeeper's first cap in 12 years, this. Only prior cap against South Korea, January of 2005. Aguilar. This is Copete. Orlando Berrio. Berrio's cross into a really dangerous area, that, but it's a ball which is met and cleared by Fagner. Brazil lead, but Colombia certainly in the first half had the best chance. The header off the post from Matias Uribe. He's on the ball now, Uribe, who's had a very impressive first cap at this level. Borja, wide for Copete. Jonathan Copete here, plays for Santos in Brazil. Always gone down here. Lucas Lima's challenge in the box was certainly risky from behind. Deemed okay by the referee, and the ball breaks back Lucas Lima's way. For here is Rodrigo Caio. Jorge. Wavered. Wallace. Break here Uribe's way for Colombia. Support with him ahead here from Miguel Borja. Tries to turn well, but well done there with the back heel touch away from Rodriguinho. Then Diego is caught by Miguel Borja. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. That's the goal. Fagner's cross. Diego Souza's shot saved, but Dudu with the sharpness to head home his first goal for Brazil. Sharpness there though from the goal scorer. Dudu with Berrio. Bocanegra. As for these players, many of them, of course, a learning curve. This, the first or early steps on the international ladder. Well, I say, now it's with Diego, and here is Dudu. Pass there was rather ambitious, given away by Brazil. Now it comes Uribe's way for Colombia. Uribe punched out here to find Copete. Copete's cross towards Borja, and a crucial Brazilian touch in there, I think, by Rodrigo Caio. For now, Tichi's men are on the back foot. They may lead, but it's a good spell by Colombia. Felipe Aguilar. Tessio. Uribe. Abel Aguilar. Fouled by Diego. Brazil are close to qualifying for the World Cup with games to spare, but to get the job done in March's qualifiers. Uruguay in Montevideo is certainly a tough game. The next qualifier then home to a Paraguayan team on March the 27th as well. There's Montoya. Had a clear, good one too from Pedro Jaramel. Place taken by Rodriguinho. More sad to hear Julian Arau booed by a number of the fans. Of course, as I said, the first half, he left this club here, Botafogo, to join their city rivals Flamengo in acrimonious fashion. Sad to hear in a game of peace, so-called, that the player was given such a hot reception. There'll be a double Colombia change very shortly as well. This is the ball for Colombia. Montoya, Uribe wide for Farid Diaz. Uribe, good Bocanegra's run here, and a header, good one too there from Dudu, tracking back well there, the goal scorer, to do a good defensive shift. Going to see Levin Balanta and Vladimir Hernandez coming on next for Colombia. But here's for Brazil, Diego for Dudu. Will come that double change. It'll be Farid Diaz coming off, replaced by Levin Balanta, like for like, left back for left back here. This is Levin Balanta's first cap, the man from Santa Fe. Santa Fe win the 2015 Copa Sudamericana. He comes on for Farid Diaz. Diaz is the regular choice at this left back position for the senior side, and here coming on as well for his debut, Vladimir Hernandez, another player from Santos here in Brazil. Scored a career best 15 league goals in 35 in his last season with Junior, last campaign in Colombia, but has now joined Santos in Brazil, the famous club, ex of Neymar, of course, and Pelé. Brazil will make a change too very shortly. The 19 for Brazil will be Luan Vieira coming on. The man who scored against Colombia in the Olympic Games quarter-final in Sao Paulo. Comes on to replace Diego Souza. One of two Luans in the squad. He's Luan Vieira, also Luan Garcia on the bench. He's a centre-back from Vasco da Gama here in Rio. This is Tessio. Lucas Lima with him, Fagner. Lucas Lima, and Fagner checks back here. Looks for Diego's run. It's well read though by Felipe Aguilar for Colombia. Into traffic, and he gets the free kick too here, fouled by Rodriguinho. meat in a sandwich, wasn't he? Felipe Aguilar. Defender's third cap. On the ball now is Vladimir Hernandez. Balanta. Hernandez. Uribe. That's a Bocanegra. Bocanegra's pass here for Berrio. Good pullback here. Borja on the turn. No handball, play on, says the referee. Waves it away. Dudu into traffic again there for Brazil. This is Montoya. Hernandez. Another good spell here for the Colombians. Back to Levin Balanta. Vladimir Hernandez. He's a tenacious little player, isn't he? Here's Balanta. And he wins a corner, does he? Yes, he does. Off the back of Fagner. Colombia corner here, a good spell for them. Corner taken by the lively Vladimir Hernandez. Goalkeeper comes, a punch away, and no great pressure there was the Waverton. Balanta. Away by Pedro Jeromel for Brazil. Back in there by Bocanegra. Uribe. Uribe with Wallace. Uribe's tenacious. Uribe's ball picked off well there by Rodrigo Cayo. Diego caught by Miguel Borja. Brazil lead through Dudu's goal in the second half's second minute. Now Wallace. Ball against Dudu. Quick Colombian free kick. Levin Balanta of Santa Fe. Balanta here, Montoya with Fagner. Corner. Fagner's pull back. And Diego Souza shot well saved by the goalkeeper, but reactions razor sharp from Dudu. 6 goals as Palmeiras won the Brazilian title last season. In by Hernandez. Goalkeeper catches well this time. Has been named in World Cup qualifying squads in recent internationals as Waverton. Here is Wallace. Diego. Rodriguinho. Wallace. Another couple of changes coming for Colombia very shortly. Brazil at half-time chose to take off the injured captain Robinho, who reached that milestone over 100 caps tonight. Saying to the players who came close but missed out on 100 caps down the years, looking at the record books, Ronaldo got 98, Robinho got 97, and Pelé got 92. Only 5 men have got to 100. Robinho is now one of them. The other one is Brazil's current goalkeeping coach, Claudio Taffarel. Carlos, Cafu, Lucio, the others who complete that gang of 5. And will come the next batch of changes. From Colombia here, they will make a double one. coming off wearing the number 9 shirt is Miguel Borja, replaced by Mikel Rangel. He plays for Junior. The captain, Abel Aguilar, is the next to make his way off the field. So it's Juan Sebastian Quintero coming on now. Goes Balanta. Comes back here to Uribe. Now Hernandez. Hernandez coming on, has been very sharp and very busy, the little number 7 for Colombia. By Balanta here. Wallace, now Diego breaks away for Brazil. Diego in full flow here. Diego's pass. Rodriguinho on the turn, blocked well by Colombia. Brazil have sent on Gustavo Scarpa, by the way, number 17. That is Gustavo Scarpa, Fluminense's first cap as well. Involved here, ball broke to Rodriguinho, whose shot was well blocked in the end by Colombia and William Tecillo. Felipe Aguilar in the game's last 20 minutes in Rio's Olympic Stadium. Up goes Berrio. Rodriguinho. Uribe. Now it's with Vladimir Hernandez. Evan Balanta joins the attacking party as well here. It's ball given away though by the fullback, and now Diego can look to plot and scheme and get Brazil going the right way. Up to Luan here. Rodriguinho and Luan once more. Pass though was rather short. Run well for Colombia. Shot from long distance though is a rather wasted chance from Mikel Rangel. This free kick, good save produced by the goalkeeper Weverton from Boca Negra. Pedro Jeromel. This would be for Teach, the 7th win in 7 internationals in charge for the coach. Wallace. With Weverton again. Dudu's early goal in the second half, the only goal so far in this friendly match. Just joined in wondering why we're having an international in January. It's simple. This is a game to raise funds for the victims, the families of the victims of the Chapecoense air crash in December. That's why Brazil are facing Colombia here with domestic-based players. Emotional to see the survivors from the crash here before the game at kickoff, when they met the players when they came out onto the field. Rodriguinho here for Brazil in to find Luan. Given away though. Oh, it's Boca Negra. Berrio. Berrio's pass. By the very tidy and impressive Rodrigo Caio tonight. The number 4 for Brazil has had a terrific game. Only second cap tonight, the young defender from Sao Paulo, but he's had an excellent game. Diego up to Luan. Diego twists and turns here into the feet now of Gustavo Scarpa. Luan, one of the Olympic Games heroes in the summer. That was the one trophy they'd never won, Brazil. Olympic gold football, but now they have the full set. Copa America and World Cup, of course. Olympic gold as well to add to their historical back catalogue. Here's Montoya. Again Montoya here towards Rangel. Olympic gold was a huge fillip to Brazil's national football prestige. Of course the World Cup scarred them deeply, and also the summer's Copa America too in the summer just gone, when they were first round departees in the USA. It's been a very un-Brazil-like Brazil in the last 2 or 3 years at senior level. There's Diego off balance, and the ball breaks Colombia's way now. It's with Uribe. Felipe Aguilar. It's a good ball to look for the run of Berrio. But that 7-1 loss in the semi-final of the World Cup to Germany was one which really did leave Brazil as a football nation really hit for 6. Or 7 as the case may have been, but it's under Teach they've begun to get the old swagger back, the old self-belief back. This will be, as I say, a 7th successive win for Brazil since the change of coach after the Copa America when Dunga was shown the door. They're gathering a little steam, aren't they, before the next World Cup, Brazil? These maybe they're fringe players, but I think the players who will be there in Russia in just over a year's time, a year and a half's time. Montoya's free kick for Bocanegra. Bocanegra's cross. Up goes Weverton. Got a push too there from Matias Uribe. Got these players who will push on, maybe get a place in the squad for the World Cup, or at least the qualifiers to come. I think Wallace's done well, number 8 for Brazilian midfield, and he certainly hasn't done his case any harm at all. Uribe for Colombia, into Montoya's feet. He's got away from Fagner. Vladimir Hernandez. Balanta. Balanta again. As there was rather forced Bocanegra back. Balanta rather casual, and then it's going to be given Brazil's way. And every ticket sold tonight is going to help the families of the victims of the Chapecoense air disaster. Rodriguinho for Brazil, away from trouble. The ball up here to find Luan. Diego's gone chasing through. It's going to run again for Brazil here, and the flag stays down. Can they find a second goal, Brazil? Not quite. A shot from Gustavo Scarpa, well held by goalkeeper David Gonzalez. You have an injury to contend with too, and play went on here. There was no stoppage because the referee decided the injury wasn't sufficient to call play back, and when Brazil and Gustavo Scarpa stings the hands of David Gonzalez. Here's how the injury came about for Balanta. In the eyes of Brazilian football will tomorrow turn, I'm sure, to Chapecoense's first competitive game since the air crash, when they take on Joinville in a regional cup competition, but that is their first senior match with their new squad of players. I'm sure that will be in sharp focus in Brazil tomorrow night. But a well-fought game this, good friendly, which I'm sure has given both coaches food for thought. Teach and Jose Pekerman, before they name their squads for the March World Cup qualifying doubleheaders. This is Felipe Aguilar. We have to play 11 minutes of the 90. Uribe into Rangel. Now it's with Berrio. Bocanegra. Again, good ball retention here by Colombia this time. They're a team who do move the ball well. It's the Pekerman way of playing a very offensive, very technical game. Here comes Berrio. Berrio's early ball in. It's well won again by impressive Rodrigo Caio, and then Wallace helps him out up to Luan. Rodriguinho, first time pass here, and here come Brazil with Camilo. And Camilo's come on, by the way. He's a former Chapecoense player, and the team which played its first season back in the top flight since 1978, a couple of years ago, for Chapecoense. Close call, that. Flag stayed down until fairly late, and then came up to stop Camilo in his tracks. Plays with the home club here for now, Botafogo, though he's been linked with a move away to the champions, maybe Palmeiras. Club here as a boy supported. Here's Balanta. Jorge. Luan. Diego. And Luan here has to hold the ball because he saw that he was offside against Gustavo Scarpa. He played the pass early. Here's Wallace towards Camilo. Good touch from Camilo. It's his debut for Brazil. Good work here by Camilo. Keeps on going, finds Diego in support here. Diego's pass, dummy by Gustavo Scarpa for Luan. And Luan brought down, free kick against leaving Balanta. And Camilo is a real fan's favourite here, given he plays for the club who play in this stadium, Botafogo. And here Luan just tripped by leaving Balanta. A Brazilian free kick. Gustavo Scarpa is on it. And so there, Diego and Camilo as an option as well. 3 on this dead ball for Brazil. It's left here for Gustavo Scarpa. Side netting. Many thought the ball had gone in there from the other side of the stadium, but it was the side of the goal, not the back of the net. It was covered well here by the goalkeeper David Gonzalez. It was close, very close. Left here for Gustavo Scarpa to have a go, and he did have a go, the player from Fluminense. Scored 8 times for that club in last season's Brasileira. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. A goal from Dudu early in the second half, the difference. under pressure. Back here now for Rientecillo. David Gonzalez. Jeromel to Diego. Clever turn by Diego here. And then pushed over. That'll be a free kick and another Brazilian set piece. Jorge, Rodriguinho. 90 minutes, 6 remain in Rio. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. This will be Tite's 7th win in 7 games. Brazil coach. Here's Camilo, clever backheel touch here for Rodriguinho. Held up by Felipe Aguilar. Colombia's chief concern now is reaching the World Cup. They are in a very sticky position in the qualifying group. It would be fitting if this man were to score for Brazil, given he had a couple of years as a Chapecoense player. Go back to goalkeeper Weverton. He'll have a clean sheet to mark his Brazil debut. Jorge. Rodrigo Caio's been a real contender for man of the match tonight. As well as saying, and before being taken off Dudu as well. Tite knows a win is close now for Brazil. Rodriguinho's pass, Luan's touch on here for Gustavo Scarpa. Rodriguinho now for Jorge. And Jorge goes on here, he finds Camilo. Camilo's shot. There's much talk in the Brazilian press of a potential move for Camilo to leave Botafogo to join the champion Palmeiras. He's a boyhood Palmeiras supporter. Backheel touch which the home fans, the Botafogo fans here really enjoyed seeing their man in a Brazil shirt. Gustavo Scarpa. And again, he's got Luan in support. Brazilian free kick. We're nearing the last, 3 minutes of 90. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. This friendly match to raise funds for the dependents of those who lost their lives in the Chapecoense plane crash. Fagner. Here comes Fagner again. And the dummy here for Diego, whistled down. Referee says no foul against Uribe, which I must say is a strange decision to me, but play goes on here with Colombia in possession. Well, Diego surely was barged over by Matias Uribe. Here's Balanta with Jeromel. And the boot was deemed high from the Brazilian defender. Well, that collision which the referee didn't think was worthy of a free kick. Vladimir Hernandez set piece for Colombia. In by Hernandez. Chance! Oh, what a chance! Not taken by Berrio for Colombia. Orlando Berrio winning his 4th cap. He's yet to score for Colombia. He will never have a chance as good as this to get his first goal, surely, without actually scoring. Across the face of goal. Maybe in 2 minds here to shoot or to find a colleague, but nonetheless, chance comes and goes for Colombia. They should be level. Uribe. Now Montoya. Hernandez. Montoya. Brazil come away. Now in the game's last minute of 90. Camilo. Rodriguinho. Wrestling his way free, but brought down. As we near the board being produced to show us how much we'll play on for beyond 90 minutes. Here is Camilo for Brazil, for Jorge. Negra, now it's with Orlando Berrio. Away from Wallace, away from Camilo too. Wallace in field and Rodrigo Cayo with a foul. Berrio, the board says there'll be 3 more minutes to play. We are now into the first of the 3 additional. There'll be a yellow card when Rodrigo Cayo retakes his feet. Challenge here on Berrio, earns him the game's 4th yellow card. So added time, Brazil with the 1-goal lead from Dudu. Here, what a chance for Berrio to get the game level for Colombia late on. It'll be a Montoya free kick for Colombia. They're queuing up at the far post here. Everton's punch away, not the most convincing punch away. Here's Montoya wriggling free. Uribe goes in. Jorge under pressure, and Jorge gets the free kick too against Montoya. We've had 1 of the 3 added minutes. Brazil in front. Colombia here with late pressure. Late chance from Berrio. Will they get another one to save the game, I wonder? Up goes Luan. Diego. Infield to Rodriguinho for Wallace. Fagner. Gustavo Scarpa, clever ball to find Fagner. And the win is close for Teach. And the coach will say that winning habit's a good habit. Here is Diego for Brazil. Wide here is Camilo. Camilo finds Diego here. Diego pulls it back. Without the sufficient sting to get beyond David Gonzalez. Last, half minute or so of the indicated 3 minutes of stoppage time. Uribe for Colombia. Hit the post first half, Uribe. That's been their best chance of the game, really, apart from that one recently, which was not taken by Berrio. There is Gustavo Scarpa for Brazil. Referees check the watch again. These are the game's very closing moments. Hernandez, but the whistle goes to end this friendly. In the end, 1 goal enough, but all about raising funds, of course, for the families of the Chapecoense air crash victims and Brazil have won this game by a single doo-doo goal to nil. But that really is a footnote tonight, the game, the scoreline. It was all about Chapecoense tonight and making sure that money was raised for the people, the dependents of those who lost their lives. As the fans leave into the Rio night, they've seen Brazil win this one. Dudu's goal in the second half's early moments, enough to win Tiche's 7th game in 7 in charge of Brazil. He beats Jose Pekerman's Colombia by 1 goal to nil. Full-time score then. Brazil have won this one by a single goal to nil.
Boa sorte.
Diego, feliz de voltar com a camisa da seleção brasileira?
Maravilhoso, maravilhoso. Desfrutei de cada segundo ali, realmente foi um trabalho muito bem feito, em 2 dias, acredito que aproveitamos muito bem o tempo que tivemos juntos. Conseguimos vencer, maior parte do jogo nós conseguimos dominar. É claro que superamos, né, algumas dificuldades, começo de temporada, tudo. Mas no geral, muito positivo, saio muito feliz e agora é trabalhar para quem sabe continuar presente nas próximas convocações.
Importante essa iniciativa da CBF, né?
Muito importante, né? Mais do que um jogo. Tive a oportunidade de estar com o Neto, com o Foma e realmente é um grande exemplo, né? São heróis e tudo que nós pudermos fazer para ajudar aqueles que se envolveram nesse trágico acidente aí, nós faremos com muito prazer.
Obrigado, Diego. Agora o Camilo, jogador que atua pelo Botafogo, mas também atuou pela equipe da Chapecoense, né? Tem um significado maior para você.
Significado muito importante para mim, de estar representando o povo de Chapecó. Estou no meu estado, o estádio do meu clube. E quis aproveitar minha oportunidade com alegria, com o sonho desde criança, estar vestindo essa camisa. Hoje eu me sinto realizado, me sinto completo no ápice da minha carreira. Eu sou muito grato ao Tite pela minha escolha.
Você foi o grande anfitrião dessa partida, né? Que está em casa, jogando pelo Botafogo. O que você achou da sua estreia? Eu vi que você rezou, né? Pediu a Deus para esse grande momento.
Sim, era sempre que eu sonhei. Então é momento só de agradecer. Quis botar minha alegria dentro de campo. Acho que vai ficar um dia marcado na minha vida. Então eu sou muito grato a Deus por isso.
Ok. Camila, agora o jogador da seleção colombiana, Cueva. Cueva, muito importante para o povo brasileiro, para o povo colombiano também, esse tipo de jogo, esse tipo de ação.
Muito, eu acho que tem que comemorar, né? A afição brasileira acompanhou numa